What's going on, guys? Dan back with the Regular Guy Garage. What I'm going to try and do is figure out this steering shaft. Like I said, I have the Motion Raceworks lightweight steering shaft coming in, and what I want to do is reuse all of the factory components because I would like the interior to stay as factory as I possibly can. It looks like everything on the actual steering column just pretty much clamps together. I'm going to kind of just dissect it here really quick and see. You know, I don't think it's impossible to make all of this made up to an aftermarket steering column, but I've never done it before. So, all right, so I got the Motion Raceworks steering column in yesterday. Gonna end up actually just pulling the shaft out. I threw the wheel on just because I was bored, but get the column in and mocked up. I'm gonna have to do some cutting because it came. Let's see, I got some of the joints as well, but it comes with this bar which is fairly long, so we'll cut that down. Not really too long of a run between where the shaft's going to come out and then here, so a little bit of cutting involved. Additionally, we got the radiator support. I'm going to have to go ahead and just finish trimming this down on both sides, and then like I said, it's just a bolt in, so 2 bolts on each side, 4 total, and that'll be it. I ended up having them weld on the intercooler brackets, just in case I end up doing a front mounted intercooler, or even if you know I need something to hang up here, it's better off just to have, you know, the brackets welded on, and then I don't have to do it, and I'm not really a great welder anyway. So outside of that, it came with the new firewall plate for the steering shaft. And then I went ahead and test fit the steering lock. Basically all I'm gonna have to do, well, I'm gonna have to clean all this up, but basically just grind this portion out. Pretty much just grind this portion out right here, and then it'll be able to go around that column. And I'll show you guys when I end up doing it later, but gonna be a pretty simple thing, really. I'm just gonna get like a very thin piece of rubber to put around the column because I don't really want to score it up, and then just clamp it together, and you know, I'll be able to use it. All right, so here's what the wheel is going to look like in the car with this seat. I mean, it fits pretty much perfect. It's a tad bit lower than stock, but when you're actually sitting in it, for like, you know, when you're sitting in it and kind of grabbing the wheel, I mean, it sits perfect, at least for me. Moving around the front, got some cutting to do. So the shaft comes out. I mean, they give you extra with the purpose of being able to cut it. So I'm gonna go ahead and cut it back. I gotta mark it first. I'll mark it, you know, double check a few times, and then we'll go ahead and cut it. And then I also have to cut that piece of bar to get the length I want. Not really a huge, you know, task, pretty simple actually. You know, it's nice to be able to have a bunch and then just, you know, cut back, then not have enough at all and have to figure that out. So, all right, and we're all set. So I got the intermediate shaft all set up, cut. Everything lines up absolutely perfectly. So what I'm gonna do now is I have to drill the hole in the actual steering shaft. So I've got it marked. What I wanted to try and do is have the hole on the top, but the way that this is working out, it's got to go in sideways. Not really a huge deal. I'm basically just gonna drill it through here, and then I'll find a way to kind of mark it on this side, and then and also keep this collar where it's at, and then drill it back through the other side. So shouldn't be too hard. All right, so I got a bolt in there. Drilled it out, very simple. Steering is all hooked up, tightened up, everything's good to go. It came out great. Right now what I'm doing is cutting the section of the radiator support in order to get the new one on. I've just got one little section left, and then we'll be all set. I'll basically file it down, sand it, test fit it a couple times, make sure it's straight, and then we'll go ahead and stick it on. All right, here's the finished product for the radiator support. Pretty simple install, just bolts right in, you know, just made sure I got my measurements straight, measured 3 or 4 times, and then just went ahead and bolted it in. I'm still gonna throw another, probably just coat of spray paint on it just to get it, you know, looking nice and clean, but moving right along. I mean, got steering set up, got K-member, steering rack, now the radiator support. I've got brakes that'll be here in a couple days actually, and then I'm just waiting for whenever the struts get here. I ordered a set of long travel struts. They're the Afterworks brand. Comes with Viking shocks, up to 9.5 inches of travel, so that's gonna do pretty well for us when we you know, start doing backside no prep stuff. So we'll get that all buttoned up. Then the front's pretty much done, and we can start moving on to the back. Basically what I'm gonna do is get this thing back to a roller state. I'm gonna roll it out of the garage, flip it around, put it back in, and then we'll start disassembling the back and figure out where we're gonna go from there. So, all right, so after kind of messing with it for a little bit, I'm not gonna reuse the stock cylinder lock, just cause, I mean, I was grinding away on it and stuff, and I just didn't like the way it was sitting up on this steering shaft. It wasn't, I'd have to basically hose clamp it on, and, you know, I don't feel like trying to weld on or attach anything to this. So I'm gonna wire up, you know, some sort of switch. I'll probably just do it right where the radio is. Aside from that, I'll do the turn signals. I like the Motion Raceworks little turn signal switch, so I'll probably get that since that clamps on here. And then eventually we'll have like a Holly dash that'll clamp onto here as well. So yeah, I mean, can you do it? Yes, but I just didn't think, I didn't like it. You know, I didn't want to have something where the throttle sticks and I got to go to shut the car off, and then who knows, the hose clamp comes out and the whole thing falls. That'd be my luck. So that's what we're going to end up doing with that. Still waiting on a set of the front struts. I messaged Garage Built Racing last week. He said they should be shipping soon, maybe this week, hopefully. I know the Viking stuff usually takes a few weeks. It hasn't been, I think it's only been about 3 weeks, plus Christmas and all that stuff. So, you know, I'm sure it's going to take a little bit to get those. But once I get those, I can get this car flipped around and then start getting the rear taken apart. I did get some brake lines and stuff in, so let me show you that. So I wired up the Willwood brake proportioning valve, and then also I got the TBM brake line lock. Not the prettiest job as far as brake line bending and stuff, but I mean, it'll work. For now, I just have the stock rear brake line plumbed into it. But probably what I'm gonna do is, actually I'll probably keep that one because then it tees in right there. But then maybe that one going back. I got some other brake lines. I'll probably make a new one. Because the 4-cylinder, well, or 6-cylinder rear for this one, it comes out in a different spot than it would on the 8. Well, granted, we're going to do a 9-inch, but when we get to that rear brake line, I'm going to go ahead and make another one. The Motion Raceworks kit that I got is a bunch of fittings and brackets and stuff like that, so I can end up making this, plus it has a whole bunch of brake line. So, you know, I can make that new brake line and it'll be all right. I mean, outside of that, been kind of slow rolling. Had, you know, Christmas and stuff. Plus, I just had surgery a couple days ago. So, you know, been kind of hobbling around, you know, taking it slow. So, anyway, guys, that's going to be it for this one. As always, thanks for watching. Take care. We'll see you on the next one.